Welcome to Double Booked with Chris and Chris. My name is Christina.
And I'm Crystal, and we are two Canadian girls brought together by a smutty book club and our love of all things reading.
Excellent. So today we're doing a little get to know the readers. So we have a list of a couple questions about, our reading over time and kind of what books made us who we are today. So Crystal, why don't you kick us off with your favorite book of all time?
Favorite book of all time. I made this one, I think, about the book that really just shifted things for me with reading. So I went with A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, which is the second book in the Avatar series.
It's so good.
It's so good. I feel like it changed what I thought reading was. I feel like every book that I'd read before that was very like you met the main MMC in the very first book and they just, where this one just like blew my mind to the possibilities of what like fantasy and romantasy and romance books could be like. I was like, you can switch. Like you can have someone else be. I was like, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. Did you read did you read growing up as a kid and then take like a really long break and come back and this like the ACOTAR series was the series that brought you back into reading?
No, I would say the series that brought me back into reading was when I was 16 and Twilight really hit big. Like the movie came out, I read the first book and I think the movie came out right when I was turned 16. So I'd gone through like the reading isn't cool phase. Like I read up until I was like 12, 13 and then kind of got like teased a little bit for being the nerd who loves books. And so I fell out a little bit and then that really brought reading back for me. So I was definitely a Twilight girl, OG. And then I read ACOTAR a little bit later.
Okay. Yeah, in your adulthood, you'd grown up a bit. I hope you weren't reading ACOTAR as a Okay.
I think it was like 2021 and I was working at a bookstore, a big one that we have here in Canada. I was working at a Chapters. So I'd read a couple of The Throne of Glass and then ACOTAR came out. And so I kind of was reading them as they were coming out. So I didn't get to read them all at once. And I remember reading Mist and Fury and just being like, what just... And the ending of that one is just like, I was like, that was the craziest cliffhanger. So much is, literally mind blown on that one. So yeah, that was, I would say that's probably my favorite book of all time, just because it changed the game for me.
Okay,
what about you?
Cool.
What was the one?
So, for the longest time, my favorite book was The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. I think I read this book when I was in university or like just finishing high school or something. And I remember borrowing it from my aunt or my cousin or someone, like it was a family member who lent it to me. And I don't know what it was. I think it was the first like lit fic book that I'd really read for the first time. And I don't know, it was like, it felt so poetic. I loved the romance and just the story behind it. So that's been on my favorite list. I have it right there. I love it so much. And then this year, and I've already talked to you about this, and our in-person book club is probably
I know what's coming. I know what's coming.
Tired of me talking about it, but Deep End by Ali Hazelwood.
Oh, that was it.
That, like, it's my new favorite book, and I cannot shut up about it. And I don't, like, I've only read it once so far, and I'm stoked to to read it again. And I'm like trying to like hold off on reading it again before book club in August.
Yes. Oh my God. Book club. Jill's Smutty Book Club. The thing that brought us together.
I love it so much.
The light of our lives.
Okay.
It
really is. It really is. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It was, I'd never even heard of a Smutty Book Club before. And I literally just was like, walking around our local bookstore and they had a little sticker on one of the books and it said Jill's Smutty Book Club and I was like, that is something I need to be a part of. It's amazing. Yeah. How did you find out about the book club?
I emailed found. Yeah, I was looking for I was looking for a book club in my area, and there were none. I think the closest one is downtown, and it was like a normal book club. Anyway, I had trouble. So I found the one it found online, and I sent an email in, and I was like, you can never trust anything online these days, because it's like some people still have stuff up that is old, like years and years old. So I emailed, and I was like, hey, is this actually happening? They're like, yes, see our Eventbrite page to find out about the books. And I was like, perfect, let's go.
Amazing.
And the first book when I joined was, what's it called? Fourth Wing. The first book was Fourth Wing. And so
what's it called? It's just Fourth Wing.
It's like, these are my people.
Yeah, mine.
I know, I forgot.
Was Throne of Secrets.
But like, these are my people.
I love them. I love the girls so much. I have to put it on my list. Yeah. It's so good. Yeah, Throne of Secrets was so good. And it is spicy. Like, spicy.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I love me a good spicy book. Ooh.
We love a throne scene.
Let's go. Oh my goodness. Okay. Next question, Crystal. What was the first book that made you cry?
Right. The first book that made me cry is like, it's a generational book. This is one of my mom's favorite books. She had an old copy that she passed to my aunt, and then they gave it to me when I got older. And that's The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton.
That's a good one.
My soul. Pony Boy. Oh my God. Yep. Like, I just remember being like young, like 12, being like, why did you do this to me? But I think we can laugh about it now. Funniest times that I cried in a book was I was visiting my grandma, and I was staying at her house, and I was maybe like 14, 15, and I read Her Sister's Keeper, and I got to the end, and then my like 5 minutes later, my grandma walked in the house, and I am bawling, like ugly snot crying. And she's like, what is wrong? And I'm like, she died. And my grandma's like, who died? And I'm like, the girl, and she won her case, and then she died anyways. And I'm like bawling, and my grandma's like, so not a real person, right? And I'm like, no. She's like, you cannot do that. You cannot just answer what is wrong with she died.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my poor grandma. And I'd say the most recent one was Liam in Fourth Wing. I remember being like, what was that? And I just like cried. That scene was devastating.
Yeah.
So devastating.
A
little tear now.
I didn't cry when that scene happened, but when when Onyx Storm came out, and there was the reveal of like, spoilers, the second signet, and it was all like, oh, Liam actually was able to wield ice and have farsight. I bawled my eyes out there. I was like, she did it. Rebecca Yarros wrote that, and it was right.
Yeah,
like, it was true. Everyone called it. I bawled my eyes out then. Yeah. I found that I've let myself be a lot more emotional with books recently. So last year, I discovered the Green Creek series by TJ Klune. The first book is Wolfsong.
Oh yeah, okay, I've heard of them, but I've not read them.
I cried through almost the whole book, because it's about like this 12-year-old boy. He's 12 years old, and he grows up throughout the book. But his dad walks out on him. Like, he comes home from school early, and his dad is packing up and leaving. And he's like, well, where are you going? Oh, I'm leaving. Well, can I come? No, you have to stay here. And he's like, this dad's basically like, people are going to give you shit all your life, and like, you're good for nothing, and blah, blah. And it's awful. Like, the way that his dad talks to him. It is.
No kidding.
It is.
You can't even be nice
it's
on
so
your way
good,
out
though.
the door.
I know, right?
Oh.
So that was not the first book that made me cry, but a book that like lasted with me for a very long time. I reread it again this year. It's so good. It was so good.
All right, so next up is kind of a fun one. So if you could like sit down and chat with any author, like have a coffee with, who would you pick?
I don't know, but I know who I would want to be friends with. And that's
Ooh,
Ali Hazelwood.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I've never like seen her live. I've seen a few like videos of people recording live events of hers, and she just seems like such a fun like personality, a really fun human. And so I really want to read. I want to meet her. I want to meet her and hang out with her.
I'm so excited. I haven't read any Ali Hazelwood books yet, much to your shock and surprise.
I know.
I'm very excited to read some. But yeah, no, I think I'm excited to read her books. I feel like it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, they're like, I would say they're not anything like literary masterpieces, but like I've gotten to a
But they
point in my
don't need
life
to
too
be.
where no, exactly. I don't care. As long as I'm having a good time, that's all that matters. So,
Literally, I know. I get that all the time where people are like, "Oh, why don't you read something else?" Or like, expand
I don't
what you're getting into. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty happy over here. There's a lot to go. And I feel like I go between contemporary and fantasy, and I love a good mystery. Like, my goal in life is to find an amazing, spicy thriller.
mm, yeah.
And that's all I want in like January when it's cold and it's kind of like, give me a
Yep.
spicy mystery. Yep,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
that's
what I
good.
want.
Who would you want to have coffee with?
I feel like mine, I put Sarah J. Maas, which is like, I am just like, she is the standard of which all other books for me are kind of like held against. Like her twists, her turns, her character building. Like, I've wanted to dabble into writing a little bit myself. And I feel like she and Rebecca Yarros does this as well, like lays the foundation so far back. Like, I've been doing a reread of Throne of Glass, and I'm like getting into the last two books, and I'm in the last one now, but it's just like the amount of like groundwork she puts in is like masterful. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I don't know if I've seen that to the same level in any other stories.
Yeah. That's yeah. I know a lot of people, the first thing if they sat down with her, the first thing they would ask is when's the next ACOTAR book coming out?
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
want it. There's some characters, but also like there's different things. And like I feel like must be so much pressure for her. Because she like
Oh, I'm sure.
people love these stories, and now she's got these possible like these interconnecting timelines and series and all sorts of stuff, and people are like, I mean, our book lovers, they love books, but once in a while we take our love to extreme sometimes,
Yeah.
and we gotta
Yeah, it can
remember,
be a bit
yeah,
much.
it can be a bit much, but no,
Yeah.
she's doing her best, and we thank her
I
for
know.
what she's already given us.
100%. And like I'm stoked for the next book, and I would say similar with Rebecca Yarros, and I appreciate that Rebecca Yarros has actually been vocal about this. Like, no, I need a break. I need to write a different book, and then like we'll continue the Empyrean series. I just wish that Sarah J. Maas was more vocal in that sense of like, I'm taking a
Yeah,
break. Like I need to work on myself or do whatever. But yeah.
totally. Well, we're all a bit spoiled lately too, like between our ebooks and stuff, like Kindle Unlimited, there's so many like finished series that we can like bang bang bang, you can read them all out or try and time them, like with Penn, her Spark of the Everflame series. Last
Yeah.
summer I read the first three because the next one was supposed to be coming out, and I was like, woo, finish them. And then she was like, oh, actually the fourth one isn't coming out yet, and it's now been a year, we still don't have the fourth one, but she has kept in touch with her fans. She's made posts saying that it's coming, she's relaunching all of her books, and like that I was like mildly miffed that the fourth book wasn't out, because that third book, Cliffhanger, is rough. But
Is it?
the fact that she's kept in touch with her fans and just let us know. But yeah, having a bit of patience in the time when you can have so much so fast is
Yeah.
hard. Like 2 years for the next Empyrean, is rough because we love it so much, but
I
it's gonna
know.
be worth the wait.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. All right, next
All
question.
right.
What is your favorite guilty pleasure read?
So I have these ones that, so when I started reading a lot, I would dip into my mom's books, and
Mm,
she had so many of the Nora Roberts trilogies. So there was a whole bunch of them. There was like Three Sisters Island, which is about like three witches, and it's like integrated. They're like reincarnated of these other ones. It's the Sign of Seven, which was like a demons angels one. A key trilogy, which was like Celtic mythology with magic keys. And they all have that, like they're all trilogies, and each book is a different couple. So they're a bit formulaic, and you kind of know, but they're so good. They're comforting. They're like spicy, and the characters are usually fun. The Morgan's Cross one, though, is incredible. Like, they travel in time through different worlds. They have like mages, vampires, shifters. Like, I would say, like, if you like romantasy, that one is the most fantasy of all the trilogies that I've read.
okay.
Yeah, those are, and I've probably reread them more than any other books.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's cool. That's cool. I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever read any Nora Roberts books before.
no, those are like, that was my early 2000s, like mom's
Oh,
old
wow.
paperbacks.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would
What's your guilty
say,
pleasure?
yeah. So, okay. So, first of all, I'm going to preface this by saying that I don't like the term guilty pleasure because I don't think that we should be shamed into feeling guilty about stuff that we enjoy and stuff that makes us feel good. Um,
Totally.
so, but
Yes.
that being said, one of my, I have a few, I have two. And I've actually only read these books once so far, but I intend on reading them again. The first one is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. That series
Yes,
so
I've
far, I've
heard you
read the
talk
first two
about this
books,
one.
and I really, 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 really love these books. They're on my to buy list. And it's my birthday this week, so I'm hoping to get some
Trophies.
money, and I'm gonna go buy these books. And then another series that I really, really loved, and again, I'm planning on reading again, and I've read all of them so far. There's still, I think, two to be published, and it's the Dark Olympus series by Katie Robert. Um,
I
it
think I've read
is
those.
the first book is Neon Gods,
Okay, I've heard
which
of
is a
them.
lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a like a Greek mythology retelling, and they're
Love Greek mythology retellings.
spicy.
Yeah.
They're so good. So
I don't think I've
and
ever read
again,
a super spicy retelling though. That would be fun.
hmm
Mm.
highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Nice. Okay.
Um, I read the most recent one, and it's one of my favorites. It's called Sweet Obsession, I think is the last one that's out. That was published a couple months ago. Oh, it was good. It was good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did you have, when you were growing up, did you have a specific book that made you fall in love with reading?
Well, I feel like Twilight really did. It got me
Yeah.
kickstarted again.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved to read lots as a kid, and then I feel like after Twilight, I got really into the Mortal Instruments series
Oh, yes. Okay.
and
Yeah.
like City of Bones series, and those, like the world building in that. And there's like, I don't know how many books. There's like four different series now. I think I've read the first three series, but then even in that, that's like 12 books at least.
I know.
And I think they've
She's
continued
published
on
so much. Yeah.
so much. But I loved those, and those were like probably my first like obsession. Like I was like devoured every single one, got every single one
Mm.
in like hardcover,
Oh,
special
wow. Okay.
editions, like yeah, those were kind of like my OG, like wow. And I just loved it. I was like, I wanted to be an Nephilim so bad. I wanted to be a shadow hunter. Actually, I think I did like a shadow hunter costume for Halloween once.
Nice. Oh, that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I got the like tattoos and every like stick-on ones. They had them. You could get them on like Amazon and stuff.
That's amazing. I love that so much. Do you have any pictures? Because I want to see them.
I think there is one photo. I think it was from when I was working at Chapters and you were allowed to dress up at work. And I came dressed as a shadow hunter while working at a bookstore, which I feel like is extra.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I would say for me, I can't pinpoint a specific book. I always loved reading. But throughout time, I can remember like favorites. Twilight was a big one. I remember, I think I was the first person in my friend group that read it and then like passed my copy around. And so my copy on my bookshelf is like so like tattered. It's the paperback. And so like all the corners are worn. And then I really loved a trilogy that I got from the library. And then I owned copies of them. But when I moved overseas, I got rid of most of my books and I don't own them anymore. And I'm really sad. And it was called The Singer of All Songs by Kate Constable. Oh. I think she's an Australian author, but it's a really good trilogy. And I was rereading the synopsis of these books a couple months ago and like reacquainting myself with some of these characters. And the male main character was like my first book crush. And I was reminded of that.
That's a good one. Like
I love him. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And so now I think about these books so differently because I remember being so like, ooh, this man as like a teenager. Like, oh, I love him.
I feel like I didn't get like a massive book crush when I was in my teens. Like I liked Edward for Bella, but I didn't really want Edward for me. Like I was more of a Team Jacob for me person.
Yep.
I feel like I didn't get the first like book crush book boyfriend until I read Throne of Glass series. And I love
and then
Rowan. I feel like
Rowan
was
Kale,
my first
Dorian,
one.
or Rowan?
Kale, never. I'm sorry. Tower of Dawn did redeem him, but no. Will never be a full Kale stan.
Okay.
I know some people love him. He redeemed himself more when I read Tower of Dawn. But he'll never... And that's mostly because I love Irene, and I'm like, all right, I'll respect her. Irene's choices. But, no, definitely it goes like Rowan, Dorian, and Fenris.
Yeah, good choices.
Yeah, those ones would be good. From Throne of Glass, anyways. But yeah, there's a lot of men to choose from in that series.
Yeah, there are.
All right. I feel like there's so many like good worlds too. Like, and also there's just like the being obsessed and like wanting to be a part of a book world.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I always,
Potter.
Yep. Like I always picture myself too as the main character. Like I think I watched a video sometime like a little while ago and like the person doing the video was like, yep, I'm 5'7", so I always picture the MMC as a 5'7", or the FMC, excuse me. She's always 5'7", and I'm like, oh, I'm 5'2", so I always imagine the FMC as my height and my age.
That's true. I never really thought about that. I do usually age characters up, like when they're 18, 19. But then they're going through all these horrible things, and I'm like, let's make you 25 in my brain. And yet, even when they are described as like really little, I think I do probably picture them closer to my height. Yeah, because I'm also 5'7", so I never think of anyone being super small. But yeah, no, I feel like I don't picture myself totally as the main character, but it's like I implement myself in the world as like a little side character. And I'm in there. I'm part of the group.
This person.
I'm not in the story,
ensemble.
But I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm there, but not her. But yeah, that's more how I picture myself.
Yeah. If you could live in a fantasy world, do you have a specific one that you would choose?
It's so hard because like pretty much anything Fae. I'm like, if I could just be Fae, like Akatar, any of them. But then I think the other one would be like the Mortal Instruments, Shadow Hunter, like for urban fantasy, I feel like it's so cool. Like it's probably my
Mm-hmm.
favorite like urban fantasy setting that I've read so far. And like the
Okay.
idea, and you still have like the separate worlds and the Fae and everything, but like so cool. So
Yeah, I think I would agree with the urban fantasy. I really loved the Crescent City setting, um, where like they
yeah.
have magic, but they also have cell phones and cars. But then like there are angels who can fly everywhere. So like, yeah, I want to be one of those. I just want wings. Just give me
That's true.
wings.
I was so surprised by your love of the Crescent City. Like how much you love Crescent City. I feel like this is
I
one of the only
love
times
Crescent
we
City.
slightly disagree because your favorite Sarah J. Maas series is my least favorite of the bunch.
Yep. Yep.
And it's not that I dislike it, but I just like, and I love the other two totally separately. Like the actual story of Throne of Glass is like amazing. Like when you get to that end and you've been through that journey, you're like, how? But it's not something
Hmm.
you could reread all the time. Whereas like I could
No.
reread ACOTAR once a year and be like so
Mm.
happy because it's so like palatable and it doesn't quite destroy your
Yeah.
soul so
Yeah.
much. But
The
I like
yeah.
Crescent City, but I haven't warmed to it the same.
Yeah, fair. You need to finish it and then tell me what you think.
I
I'm
do need
planning
to
on
finish it.
it's on Crescent City 3 is on my list for July, so I'm hoping to reread it
Ooh,
again next month and
nice.
then we
Okay.
can discuss it.
I know. Maybe I'll finish it. It's
Yes.
I need to pick it back up.
You do.
Yeah,
Like you
I
actually
do.
do.
It's a crime, to be fair, to not finish it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is a bit of a
So
crime.
we've kind of yeah, it is. It is. It is. Okay, last question. Audiobooks, yes or no?
All right. Yes, I am a recent audiobook lover. I started the first one with like a quirky witch book, kind of set in England.
Mm.
I loved having like the English narrator. I don't super love having like an American or Canadian narrator as much. I really like when they have like to me an accent, like
Yeah.
the Wolf King, and he's got like the Scottish deep accent. I'm like yes, or the ones, but I don't mind if they have an accent that sounds like my own or similar. But I do definitely like when they're like have like a British accent or something more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I think one of the first audiobooks I listened to, and I didn't realize why I loved it so much until I learned who the narrator um, was The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. But the
Oh,
narrator is Carey Mulligan, the actress Carey Mulligan.
oh, the
And I,
actress.
yeah, yeah. And so like I was listening to this book and I was like, I love this, but why do I love this so much? It's because she's narrating it. It was amazing. I loved
You're
it
like,
so
why
much.
is she so familiar?
I know, literally. I was like, I know this
Yeah.
person. Who is this person? It was fantastic. And I do really love um, I've never actually, what are they called? I've never listened to it where it's like a male voice actor and a female voice actor at the same
Oh,
time. I think that's called duet
no, the
narration.
dual narration.
I've never had that, but I've had it where like the different POV chapters are like male voice actor and female voice actor. And I
Oh
enjoy
yeah,
those
yeah,
too.
okay, yeah. I've never done like the line by
Yeah, where they're
line
like, where they're,
different, but yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the different chapters, it is nice because yeah, we don't always love like when the our different voice actors are doing the like male and
Mm,
female voices that is like opposite their gender. Sometimes that goes awry for sure.
yeah. I
Yeah.
find if I'm into it enough and I'm doing other things, like I can never just sit and listen to an audiobook, but like if I'm cleaning or if I'm driving or knitting, I do my knitting
Yeah.
while I'm listening sometimes. And I get so lost in it, I don't notice it quite so much. But there are a few times when like I'm actively paying attention and a male voice actor is like speaking like this to be a woman, and it's just really funny. It's hilarious to me.
It's so good. No, I agree.
Yeah.
And I love audiobooks like and I like kind of it's the only way I can read two books at one time. Like I can't like physically read two books at
Mm,
one time, but I can have an audiobook and then be like physically reading something else. And
okay.
I like that in the morning, like if I'm making breakfast or driving or doing those things, like I love having that because I can't do anything quiet. Like, I don't know how anyone could clean their house in silence. I think that's insane.
No. Oh, yeah, no. It's either music or
like,
audiobook.
Oh, it has to be. People are like, oh yeah, I just like when it's quiet. And I'm like,
can't stand it.
No,
why can't do it.
Would you want that? No, can't do it. So yeah, no, I love audiobooks are good for that.
Yeah, I agree. And I really hate the argument or it's not an argument, the topic of discussion or whatever that's like, audiobooks don't count as reading. Like, who cares? If you don't want to count them as reading, don't count them. But but I count them as reading. So who cares?
Like when you're little, and even if your mom is reading you a story or reading you a book, like that is time spent together reading.
Yeah, exactly.
Your little 5-year-old self is reading or not. And I'm like, yeah, the audiobook, you're getting the story. And I love the audiobooks actually for a reread, because I feel like I pick up on such different things from when I am physically reading the story compared to like listening to it again. And I love audio for a reread.
Yeah, I would agree. When I first got into audiobooks, because I wasn't sure if I was going to vibe with them when I first started listening. And yeah, I think I did The Hunger Games or something. Like, they were a beloved series that I knew really well. And so, like, I find, I don't know if you do this. Maybe you do. Maybe it's just me. But, like, sometimes if I'm reading a book with my eyeballs, like, you start thinking about other things and you realize that you haven't been paying attention to, like, the last 8 paragraphs that you read, so you have to go back.
Yeah.
I do that all the time, too, with audiobooks. If my mind starts wandering and I go, crap, rewind, like, go back. But when I was first starting to listen, I was like, if I miss stuff, I already know the story, so I'm not missing out on learning new things about what's happening.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think so, too. Yeah. I really like that.
Yeah.
So, now that you have gotten to know us a little bit, we'd love to tell you about what to expect from our future videos. We are going to do, for now anyways, 2 videos a month. One will be our pick for book club, and that'll be one that we are reading, the 2 of us, that hopefully any of you can join along and do with us. And then the second book, because this is how we were brought together, will be what we read at our smutty book club here in our hometown. And we'll kind of chat to you about our feelings as well as the feelings of all the wonderful people who go to book club with us, because they are a crew of characters. And we will start off with like first impressions, non-spoilery. We'll let you know when we get to the spoilers, and then we will give a in-depth review of what we thought. Maybe not too in-depth, but there will be spoilers.
We'll let you know when we get there. But the first book that we are planning on discussing is Shield of Sparrows by Stephenie Perry. So if you have read this book and you want to join us in our book club discussion, or you haven't and this is your sign to start, highly recommend picking up the book, and we'll be discussing that shortly. Again, like Crystal said, all of our thoughts, our likes, our dislikes, and you're welcome to join us on our book club journey with Double Booked.
It's been so hard holding everything in and not talking about this book for us.
I know.
We're very excited. I was like, you texted me when you finished it, and I was like, I have 20% left. We just powered through.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
Okay. All right.
I think that's everything for today.
I think so.
Well, we look forward to having everybody back, and we'll be hopefully posting the next video in a week or 2, maybe. And that gives you some time to read along with us. But we'll let you know beforehand before we post.
Yes.
And where can everybody find us?
Oh, that is a very good question. So we are obviously on YouTube. We do also have Instagram and TikTok, both handles, or our handles for both our doublebooked.cc, both on Instagram and on TikTok. And so if you'd like to join us in our book club reading journey, feel free to give us a like, hit subscribe, give us a follow, on Instagram and TikTok. And stay tuned for when we post our first book club podcast about Shield of Sparrows. We look forward to seeing you.
See you guys there.
And if you want to let us know what your favorite book is of all time, leave us a comment.
Ooh, yeah. That's good.
Yeah. We hope to get more ideas from you about future books, whether it is for Double Booked or our personal reading. And hopefully we were able to give you some new reading suggestions as well. Great. See you next time.
Bye.